Welcome back to Handmade with Holly. I'm excited that you're here. My name is Holly Michelson, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Del Mar, New York. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. And if you're already a subscriber, welcome back, and thank you so much for joining me. Tonight, I'm going to bring you some great little 3D projects featuring the Pretty Pillowbox die set. This is a brand new die set that was just released in the holiday catalog, which went live on August 3rd, 2021. So this is the new holiday catalog, the mini catalog. And if we open up pages 8 and 9, we can see some of these pillow boxes featured here in the catalog, and they can be found right here on page 9. Tonight I'm going to show you projects using the frosted gingerbread bundle. I've got a pillow box with the Gingerbread and Peppermint designer series paper. I have pillow boxes using this Kraft Paper. And we're also going to use some other products, both from the annual catalog as well as from the holiday mini catalog. I'm going to be showing you a couple of projects using this Penguin Place bundle. So I'm also going to be featuring some free paper that's available from the Celebration catalog. If you're not familiar with Celebration, Celebration is a special promotion that Stampin' Up typically does once a year in January and February, but this year, 2021, Stampin' Up is offering a second opportunity for Celebration, and it began on August 3rd and it continues through September 30th. In the catalog, you'll see a variety of items that you can earn free of charge with any $50 or $100 purchase, depending on the item. Today, we're going to be using this Penguin Playmates designer series paper, which is free with a $50 purchase. Has some really adorable critters, foxes, rabbits, bears, penguins, snowmen, bunnies, and on the back side it has some really beautiful simple patterns that could be used for the holidays or anything else. And we'll be using the back sides today for a couple of our projects. So before I start to walk you through the projects that I've made, I'm just going to remind you that if you're new to my channel, please make sure that you subscribe, and if you click on the notification bell down below, you'll immediately be notified each time I upload a new video. So you might be wondering what to do with these pillow boxes. They are small pillow boxes, they're three-dimensional, and you can see they fit in the palm of my hand. So when you're thinking about what you could put into these pillow boxes, you do want to think about the size and what will fit. If I'm playing with one of the pillow boxes, I can show you that I can fit this tube of lip sugar in here. So this is a nice little makeup item that I picked up, I think at Sephora, and that fits perfectly inside my pillow box. I could also fit a slightly larger lip gloss, something more on the size of a typical lip gloss. That fits in there nicely as well. I think these are super great for things like candy. So this one says, sending you peppermint kisses. I can actually fit at least 3 candy kisses in that box, maybe even 4 if I wanted to, and that will close up nicely. I've got these other candies, and these candies are bigger, but I'm able to get 2 of these nicely into the pillow box. I have this soft nougat in an individual wrapper from Cafe Paris. This fits perfectly inside the pillow box. I can get one of those in there. And because I actually also make handmade jewelry, I thought I would try and see if a pair of handmade earrings would fit inside the box. And that actually works beautifully as well. So this is going to be my new go-to packaging for all of my handmade earrings. I'm pretty excited about that. It means I won't need to buy those little earring boxes anymore at the craft store. I'm just going to use my pillow box die. So hopefully that gives you some ideas of things that you could put in there. Everything from lip gloss to candy to nougat to even a pair of earrings. The possibilities are endless. Just keep in mind the size of the pillow box. And if you have other great ideas for things to put inside the pillow boxes, leave me a comment down below and share with me your great ideas. Now, of course, the first thing that came to mind for me was a gift card. And when I tried to put a gift card into one of the standard 3-dimensional pillow boxes, it didn't fit. So you'll see in this case, I actually modified the pillow box so that I was able to get a gift card inside. I'm just gonna slip this twine off of the pillow box, and you can see I decorated this with these poinsettia flowers. These poinsettia flowers are actually part of the pillow box set. You get 4 different flower dies, and what I did was I cut out one of the large and one of the small, and I layered them on top of each other. So this is actually 6 different flower cuts, 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here. And I layered them and just rotated them so that the leaves were in between in those open holes. And then I put a little basic rhinestone gem in the center for some bling. But I wanted to show you how I was able to put a gift card inside the pillow box. So there it is, gift card, and it slipped just inside. So what I did was when I cut out a standard pillow box and folded it, I just put a little bit of adhesive here and a little bit of adhesive here and folded it up and then down. And I didn't make it a 3-dimensional box, but that enabled me to get my gift card in there. You'll also notice that I have a sentiment label on here. This label came from the die set, it's included. I did borrow a sentiment stamp from Frosted Gingerbread, and I used this Happy Holidays on here. So the sentiment came from Frosted Gingerbread, the die came from here, the poinsettia petals from here. And you'll also notice I have this beautiful detail around my scalloped edge. So when you cut with the die, it makes this nice stitched shape. I don't know if you can see that, but you get this nice stitch shape around the edge. I inserted this extra piece of die into the cutting machine when I was cutting out my pillow box. That gave me this beautiful eyelet lace detailing here. And then what I did was I ran the die back through the cutting machine with a scrap of real red paper, and I just put it at the edge of my paper and cut this out and had that extra flap. And then I tucked the red flap underneath on the inside and glued that down. So that really accentuated the beautiful eyelet lace. I was able to work in a sentiment and some nice ornamentation on here. And as you had seen before, I wrapped some twine around this. I'm going to go ahead and slide that back on. But we have some nice crumb cake twine in the catalog that you could go ahead and add to dress that up. So that's my great tip for how you could modify and use these for gift cards. I have other options here as well. You can see that I used the Frosted Gingerbread set to make this Sending You Peppermint Kisses version. not exactly the same, but in the annual catalog they have this sample here, and I just used a little bit different candies on mine. Always like to change things up a little bit, but I kind of cased the catalog. And the background paper that you see here comes from the brand new Gingerbread and Peppermint Designer Series paper. Got some really fun holiday patterns here. With lots of great plaids, stripes, peppermint candies, things that really have a great Christmas feel to it. And I used one of the sheets of paper, this one here, to make this pillow box in that version. Now I also made another box using the Kraft paper. This Kraft paper can also be found on page 9 in the holiday catalog. And this is new Kraft paper. It comes 6 by 6. What's so great about that, and I should have also mentioned that the peppermint and gingerbread paper is 6 by 6. What's so great by that is the paper is almost perfectly sized in order to cut out your pillow box. So if we were to take a peek at that, this 6 by 6 paper is almost perfectly sized to cut out a pillow box. You'll be left with a little strip left over, which you can use as an accent on another card. But these 6 by 6 papers are really great to use with these dies. If you're using 12 by 12 papers, like I did in some of mine, you'll just want to make sure that you're trimming the paper down prior to being able to run it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. This one is kind of similar to this one where I used the Kraft paper. I also used that eyelet lace die that we saw a moment ago right here. And I cut out an extra flap using the real red and tucked it behind. However, on this pillow box, I used the gift tag die. So there's this great gift tag die, and I cut out a gift tag to Jeff from Santa. Now, in order to get that to and from stamp, you probably have a few of those each year. Usually there's at least one stamp set with a to and from in it. This particular one I borrowed from Snowman Season and used that to stamp on my tag. The other thing that I did differently about this is I closed this pillow box by using the ribbon. So the ribbon is actually what's keeping the pillow box closed. And this ribbon is brand new in the mini catalog, and it's called Mini Ruffled Ribbon, and it's real red. So this is just some really beautiful ruffled ribbon. And it made a really great closure for this simple but elegant pillow box. Now, in addition to that, I have this really cute pillow box. It says, "I hope your day is a real treat," and it has this cute little calico kitty. Now, this one I made using the Pampered Pets stamp set with coordinating dies. I used the cat die to cut out the cat. And then I used my Stampin' blends. I used light smoky slate and light pale papaya. And I actually used the light flirty flamingo, but it was too bright, and so I went back over it with a color lifter to lighten up that flirty flamingo. This paper that you see here that I used to make the box, this is actually from another free item from Celebration. This is from a pack of paper called Beautifully Penned. And in this pack of paper, you get this gorgeous paper that is all black, white, and grays. They're nice stripes and flowers, polka dots, some vines, really lovely. This paper also coordinates with the hand-penned petals set that came out in the annual catalog. And I used this piece that had the scallops and some flowers on the back. And I used that to get this great backdrop for my kitty cat. For this one, I used Penguin Place and the coordinating Penguin Builder Punch. I used the two of those together to make this little adorable box. And the paper came from paper that's free during celebration. It's called Penguin Playmates, and it is comprised of a variety of sheets of paper that have these adorable little characters, these penguins and bears and foxes. There's snowmen and bunnies, cute little bird, and lots of really beautiful patterns on the reverse side, Christmas trees, stripes, polka dots, dashes. And I use this pack of paper for the polka dot background that you see here. And then the last sample that I have prepared, this is featuring the Sweet Ice Cream stamp set and the matching ice cream builder punch. I don't know if you can see that matching punch. And I use the treat yourself sentiment. I love the idea that there might be treats in here, and so I thought these stamps that said treat yourself and I hope your day is a real treat would be really fun to use on treat boxes. As clearly also sending you peppermint kisses I thought was really adorable for a treat box that was full of kisses. So you can see I have a lot of variety of stamp sets. This pillow box set does not come with any stamps. It's sold on its own, and it automatically comes with these dies that allow you to make the poinsettias. But if you have any other stamp set, you can combine it with that to make your decoration. And you can see the wide variety of things that I've done with these pillow boxes. You know, obviously this one would be great to give somebody a gift card for the holidays. This feels holiday-like, but you know, there's really nothing, well, except for me writing from Santa. There's nothing on this that requires this to be for Christmas. This would be perfect for Valentine's or a birthday or anything else. This one with the cute penguin that says lots of thanks would be an adorable thank you gift. Even though the back side of this paper has a winter theme of these critters playing in the winter, there's really nothing about the front of this that means it can only be used for winter. This one is absolutely timeless, nothing seasonal or holiday specific about it. This one, of course, is meant to be for Christmas and would be great for a little Christmas gift. This one just reeks of summer, really adorable ice cream theme. And again, depending on what stamp set you use, you could turn these into adorable baby shower favors, put them out for each one of your guests at a baby shower with something sweet inside. I thought about perhaps using the new Turtle Friends stamp set, which also has a coordinating punch, and making something that said hello little one, that might have been very cute for a baby shower. You could also do something that would be appropriate for a bridal shower. You might consider using the Elegantly Said stamp set, maybe stamping the flower and using something from here. Or even like a 25th anniversary, you've got this happy anniversary stamp. So there's lots of really fun things that you could do with these pillow box dies, ranging from birthday, get well, thank you, baby shower, bridal shower, Hanukkah, bar mitzvah, any of the holidays really. I think you're gonna find that this set is super versatile. Now, I will say that I spent some time preparing for today's video, and one of the main things I was trying to figure out was what's the best way to close these pillow boxes. So you can see on this one, what I did was I tied it with some crumb cake twine but I still wanted to close the pillow box. And so what I did was I used a glue dot, and I just put a little glue dot on the back of the tab and adhered it down. Now I played with this quite a bit and found that I could open and close it 3 or 4 times and it would still stick. And then beyond 3 or 4 times, it started to lose its tackiness. The Kraft Paper made the glue dot less adhesive, and then it was time for me to change the glue dot. But if you're giving this to somebody, likely they're going to open it once to view it, and then maybe once again later when they take the gift card out to put it away. And so the glue dot really was a great solution to keep that closed, and I thought the twine added some nice ornamentation. Now, the other thing that I tried was I tried putting a glue dot on the back of the 3-dimensional boxes. I don't really recommend this. I tried it on the penguin, I tried it on the ice cream cone. And in both cases, you can see they're popping open. So see, I just had it pushed flat and pop open. So I feel like while the glue dot is a great way to secure the flat pillow box gift card holder, it's not your best option when trying to do it on the 3-dimensional, or at least not when I did it with designer series paper. I did find that was continually popping open, and I left it that way so that I could show you on the video. Now, another option that you can use is the set comes with this other die, and this die is meant to poke 2 holes into your pillow box so that you can string ribbon or twine through it. So that's what I did on this one. I used the die and poked 2 holes, and then I poked 2 additional holes. I don't know if you can see that here. I poked 2 additional holes on the back of the box, and I was able to run the white baker's twine through this, and that is holding my pillow box shut. It's also nice because I could untie this and open it and then retie it if I wanted to. That having been said, I would say this is a little tricky. If you want to use the holes, the first part is easy. When you're running your die through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, you're going to place the die with the 2 holes right inside your die, and it's going to punch these 2 out on the flap. But then you also need to be able to get 2 more into the back of the pillow box. What I did was I laid the pillow box flat. So if it was like this, I traced the 2 holes, so I had popped out holes, and then I just lightly used a pencil mark to trace these 2 holes, and then I ran this back through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine wherever the holes were drawn on my pillow box. It's working, and you can see that my pillow box is closed. So if you look closely, you can see that the die holes are not perfectly lined up. They came out too low. What would have been better is if they had been a little bit higher, and I think I'd be able to get a tighter close on this. So what I would recommend is, instead of doing what I did, where I had the pillow box flat and I traced where the 2 holes were, I would actually kind of pop the pillow box so that it's more 3-dimensional, and I'll show you how to do that in a second, and then trace the holes. Again, flatten it and run it through the Stampin' Cut machine. But I think if I had traced the holes when the pillow box was already 3D, already, looking like that, then I would have lined it up correctly. Your other option would be, instead of using this die, to take a regular hole punch like you get at an office supply store, and then once you have the box 3-dimensional, just eyeball it and punch your holes right beneath where the flap is instead of running it back through the machine. So a few different options with that. And then once you've cut the holes, I could have run this ribbon through. I could run twine through. A lot of different options of how you would secure it once you put the holes in there. where I don't have any adhesive on the inside flap of my box at all. And now you get a better look at that red piece of paper that I tucked inside to accent the filigree work here. But what I did was I made my tag and I strung it on the ribbon, and then I just brought the ribbon around the pillow box and made a simple, I think it's called a square knot, but I just looped it and then looped it again and made a knot. And in doing that, now my box is secured and closed, plus it gave me a way to attach my gift tag. So that's another idea for how you could close your box. And then the last idea that I have for you is what I did here on the Sending Peppermint Kisses box. And in that case, I came in with a piece of Velcro. I don't know if you can see that, but I came in with a little circle of Velcro. And so I put the Velcro on the inside of the flap. And when we make one together, I'm going to do that again and show you how I did that. Okay, so lots of ideas there on what you can do in terms of filling your pillow boxes. Lots of ideas for decorating your pillow boxes. And 4 or 5 different ideas on how you can secure or close your pillow boxes. So with all of that, how about we go ahead and make a pillow box, okay? So this is an example of where I use the die to cut out the craft sheet. And here's an example of when I did it on designer series paper. So this piece of paper comes from the Penguin Playmates. You can see the critters on this side. For my purposes, I'm going to put them on the inside, and I'm going to use this snowflake kind of star pattern for the outside of my pillow box. I also think I forgot to tell you that this piece of paper came from the 2021-2023 in color designer series paper. And in this pack of paper, you get the 5 new in colors: soft succulent, evening evergreen, polished pink, fresh freesia, pale papaya, in very sedate patterns that can be used for all sorts of uses. And so I used the fresh freesia here and then paired it with the polished pink ink and the cinnamon cider to make my ice cream cone. So let's go ahead and talk about the pillow boxes. So the first thing that we want to do is identify where the score lines are. When your die cut it out, it also scored the paper. I think you can probably see this pretty well on the Kraft paper. You can see all the score lines. So we're going to use the score lines to be able to fold our pillow box. I'm going to start with the straight edges. And I mentioned earlier that when I cut these out, it was super easy to start with a piece of 6x6 designer series paper. And this is a great size to cut out your pillow box, right? Leaving that little stripe left over that you can use for something else. If you're using a larger piece of designer series paper like I am, this was a 12x12 piece of paper when I started, and I cut it at 4.5. That gave me a 4.5 by 12 inch strip, and I used the 4.5 by 12 inch strip, and I was able to run it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine twice, and you can see I got 2 pillow boxes out of that. So if I was using a full-size sheet of 12x12 paper, I would get 4 pillow boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'd still have a strip of paper left over that would be 3 inches wide that I could use for other card fronts. Okay, so as I mentioned, the first thing we're going to do is fold it on that score line, and then we're going to use our bone folder to really score that line. And then we're gonna fold on the other score line, use our bone folder to give that a good crease. I mean, this is just adorable the way it is now, right? It's flat, it's got this cute little flap. So now I get to decide how I'd like to decorate this. And I thought maybe I would use the penguin again, and this time some fresh freesia ribbon. So if I leave it flat like this is gonna be one that would be used for a gift card. And you can see before I've glued anything down, I'm gonna just place the gift card so that I have an idea of exactly where that's going to fit. And then if I open up the flap, I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus. Now you wanna use strong adhesive for attaching these pillow boxes. So I recommend 3 different things. Now I'm specifically recommending the Stampin' Seal Plus, which is meant for 3-dimensional objects. It has greater adhesive power over the regular Stampin' Seal for this project. You could also use the tear-in tape, and this is tape that you can tear with your fingers, and we could use that. And we could use the Tombow Mono Liquid Adhesive Glue. So for this project, for the gift card holder, I think I'm going to use the tear-in tape. And we know where the gift card is, so I just tore off a little piece of tape. And I'm going to do that again with my fingers. I'm just going to eyeball it and tear off a little piece of tape. I'm going to lay that down right next to where the gift card goes. And now I can pull the gift card out, and I need to peel off the protective backing, and you can see that just came off like that. And there we go. All right. And then I'm simply going to fold over the gift card holder and give it a press where that adhesive is. Go ahead and slide in my gift card. Okay. And now I'm going to take a glue dot, and I'm just going to take the tab area and kiss it to the glue dot to lift the glue dot off of the protective backing and close that. Now my gift card holder is sealed. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap a piece of this fresh freesia ribbon around. How about that? Maybe trim it right here. I have pieces and parts already made for our penguin and our gift tag. I'm going to use the Season's Greetings stamp, fresh freesia ink, and I'm going to attach this tag sideways this time. So I'm going to go ahead and just curl the ribbon slightly so that I can thread it through the hole of my tag. That looks pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to make a square knot to hold my tag in place. Okay, that's cute. I'm going to bring in my silicone craft sheet so that as I'm gluing these little pieces together, I don't get adhesive on my work surface. And how I made this penguin was I used this penguin punch. I used the larger shape to cut out this black piece using a piece of basic black cardstock. And I used this smaller piece, the one that kind of looks like a mermaid tail. I used that to cut out the white face of the penguin out of basic white. And then you'll see this little shape down here. I used that in a piece of pale papaya to punch out the 2 little feet. Literally just took a corner of my pale papaya paper and I slid it into my punch and punched out 2 little penguin feet. But we also need to give this little guy a face. So I'm gonna come in with my Memento black ink, this stamp right here to stamp his eyes. Now what's so great about that is both eyes are on the same stamp, so you don't have to worry about getting them straight and even. They're automatically going to be that way. And I have his little nose. There are 2 noses. This is the nose for the forward-facing penguin. This is the nose for the sideways-facing penguin. I'm gonna use the forward-facing penguin nose, and I'm going to stamp that using pale papaya. So I'm gonna come in here and give him his nose. So cute. My goodness. Okay, and then on the other side of my stamp, I have a little bow tie. And you can see there's this little bow tie here. I'm gonna give him a black bow tie, like he's a fancy penguin. Which is kind of fun, because you know how they always say tuxedos are like penguin suits. So I thought it would be fun to give him that little bow tie there. All right. And now we're gonna go ahead and assemble him. So first we're gonna need some adhesive. This I can just use the regular Stampin' Seal. I don't need the Stampin' Seal Plus. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put some seal on my penguin body. And then just flip it over and mount it onto the punch out. There we go. And now the same, I just need a little bit of seal on the back of each of the feet. You could also use mini dimensionals here and pop up the feet if you wanted. I'm gonna go ahead and put those down. Oh my gosh, this penguin is so cute. I can't stand it. And I'm going to use the Seal Plus in this case to attach him over that ribbon. So whoever's opening this gift card holder will end up kind of taking it apart. They'll you know, pull the ribbon off, which will pull the penguin off and then open it. But realistically, a gift card holder probably really is a one-time use thing. Wasn't likely something they were going to keep forever. So I'm not too worried about that. If I was concerned about that and that bothers you, that the penguin's on top of the ribbon and they're going to kind of have to destroy it, your other option would be to flip it over and to decorate this side of the gift card holder. I could put the penguin down and the gift tag maybe over here, and then as they opened it, they wouldn't hurt the design and perhaps it could be reused. So that's another thought about that holder. So there you have it. There's another idea. Okay, let's go ahead and make one that's 3-dimensional like this, one of the ones that's popped up. I have this piece of designer series paper, and it came from the Gingerbread and Peppermint pack of designer series paper. So that's this paper here, and I took this sheet, which has these sweet little peppermint candies on the back, and I ran it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and cut out the background. And I also used this little die that makes these little fancy scallops on the flap of the box, just to fancy it up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off like I did with the flat version when we made this penguin one, and I'm just going to fold it on the score lines. They're a little bit harder to see on the designer series paper, but if you look, you can see them. It's also worth noting that I ran this through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine twice. By doing that, it makes the score lines slightly more visible. So just score on the 2 straight lines, and then we're just going to use our fingers to gently bend the paper on the curved score lines. So the bone folder's not as good for this where the line is curved, but if you just use your fingers, you can easily work the paper, and because the paper is scored, you get a nice crease there. Okay, so that's those 2. And then I'm going to repeat the process on the other side. So there's 4 of these bends that I'm just going to massage with my fingers a little bit. Okay, so now you can see we can massage the box to its folded 3D position. That went really easily once I used my fingers to massage the score lines. You want to think about which direction you're going to decorate the box. So are you going to decorate this side and make it the main image, or are you going to decorate this side? Now, I'm going to decorate this side with the flap just because I've done quite a few other ones where I decorated the side without the flap. And so I wanted to just do another one like this. So the reason why I said decide which way you're going to decorate it is because that's going to determine which way we're going to glue these flaps. It doesn't really matter, but this one bothered me a little bit because I originally thought I was going to decorate it on this side, and then I chose to decorate it on this side. So the flap I can kind of see on the front, and it's like popping open a little bit, and that just isn't my favorite. So if I'm going to decorate this side, then I'm going to make sure that I'm folding the flaps so that the piece is folding backwards and I have this nice solid score line in the front. Now, before I go ahead and glue that together, I'm actually going to take this opportunity to decorate it. It's a little bit easier to decorate it when it's flat. So if you can envision the box like this, I'm going to put my label right here. So let's go ahead and do that. I already stamped this with a sentiment from the Penguin Place stamp set. It's a little easier when it's flat to really give your decoration a nice press. We can mold where the box is going to be, and I can see that's going to be good placement for my label. I also use the little peppermint candies on the designer series paper to help me line up the sentiment label straight. So that was kind of cool. So I'm just using the Stampin' Seal to adhere that down. And then I think I'm going to put a few peppermints right on my label. Let's just see if I have that in a good place. Yep, I think that's perfect. And then maybe we'll add one more on the front. Right there. I'll put that right there. Okay. Now I also have the option, if I like, I could decorate the back as well. So that's kind of a sweet front. But if I wanted to decorate the back, I could do that too. So maybe I'm going to go ahead and put this label from the die set on the back, create a nice frame here. Paper's a little bit busy, so that gives me some visual interest. And then if I want, I can go ahead and add some more peppermints on the back. So let's do that. Okay, So now that we've decorated our box, which you could do afterward, but because the box is curved, I have found it's easier to get the shapes to stay if I do it when it's flat. Little tip for you there. And this time we're going to use the Velcro closure. So I have this sheet of Velcro. One side has the loops and one side is the fuzzy side. And I'm just going to take one of them and place it on top of the other to make them into a set, and then peel the two off the sheet. Now what I'm going to do is mold the box the way that I want it. And then I'm going to go ahead and place the adhesive on the front of the box there. And then I'm just going to bring the flap forward and let it kiss that Velcro so that when I open the box, my piece of Velcro is in exactly the right position to match where the box closes. So that's a really easy way to get the hook in the eye to match. And now we're just going to seal up our box. We're going to go ahead and this time try the mono liquid glue, and making sure that your flaps are facing in the direction that you want. I like them pointing toward what I consider the back of my pillow box. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the flap and maybe use my tip to spread that out a little bit. I got a little bit of a blob there. And I'm going to go ahead and press my flap into the glue and hold it for a few secs. What's nice is this is repositionable, so you have an opportunity to move it around a little bit if you need to. And now I'm going to go ahead and do the same on the other side. I'm just going to pinch it by putting my fingers inside the box and giving it a little pinch there. And that's already sticking. And then I can go ahead and close the box with my Velcro. So at this point, I can consider the box finished, or if I'd like to add some ribbon, I could do that as well. I'm going to go ahead and bring back this mini ruffled real red ribbon. I can go ahead and bring that back in. Okay, so let's bring back all of the boxes that we saw on the video and just have a little recap. You can see that there are just limitless options for these pillow box dies. I just love this pillow box, and I am going to be sure to get a ton of use out of this. If you've enjoyed this video, I would appreciate it if you'd give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you hit the notification bell, you'll be notified each time I upload a new video. Thank you so much for joining me, and if you're interested in ordering any of these products, all of the information will be down in the description. Thank you, and until the next time, bye.